Cheer up. Kyungne. Pyosung. So as you gain more experience and learn more, you'll find yourself doing more sparring and thinking more about sparring. In Taekwondo, there are two main disciplines, two main parts of it. There's the art form and there's the practical fighting form. It's called martial arts. Martial means war. So one part is the fighting and the other part is the arts. So these long stances, full, deep techniques are artistic, they're beautiful, but they're not practical in full fighting. So eventually you'll need to get used to sparring. Sparring is just fighting, fighting an opponent to get better and not to hurt the other person. So when you're sparring, you'll need to start thinking about what would be practical in a real fight. You'll need to think about blocking your opponent's techniques. So that's one part of sparring, is defense. Defense is important. If you don't defend yourself, you're going to get hit. So first part of that is you always want your hands up. You always want your hands up. You have your fists up here, guarding your face. You're ready to block anything up here. You want to keep your elbows in. Don't do chicken wings. Keep your elbows in. That guards the rest of your body. And we don't hit below the belt in Taekwondo. So you always have your arms out here ready. I can block up here, I can block down here, I can block anywhere I need to. And you also want to be responsive to what your opponent is doing. So if they kick, you block. So if they kick, you can block. If they punch, you can block. Do whatever you need to do to avoid the technique. You can also step. That's another important part of sparring, is footwork. You always want to be moving around. You don't want to step straight back necessarily. You want to be sidestepping if you can. So step off to the side. If somebody kicks, you can just step off this way. You always also want to be advancing in on your opponent when you can be. And that's another part of sparring, is offense, fighting, attacking. When you're fighting, you can think of it as one long combination. Remember, a combination is a mix of movements. You want to vary what you're doing, use lots of different techniques. So when you're coming in, you can imagine doing 1, you're doing 2, 3, 4, maybe you need to block, keep coming in. Each time you can, try to block and then follow it with a technique right after. Don't do just one technique, do 2, do 3, do 4, because even if your first technique misses, if it's being blocked, you still want to throw more, because maybe they can block your first one, your second one, your third one, but not your fourth one, not your fifth one. So you want to always keep coming in, always be offensive, keep coming in. So you want to work on fast thinking as well. Once you practice the techniques enough, it'll come naturally to you. Just to think about where your opponent is open, what would work best. So, essentials of sparring, remember, you want good defense, react to what your opponent is doing, block if you need to. You want good offense, so you're attacking, it's one long combination. You want to disrupt your opponent's combination. And it's also footwork, so you're moving around, you're not standing in one spot, otherwise you can't reach your opponent. You're not backing up the whole time, you'll hit a wall. You always want good footwork, you can come around, you can come in. And there's also one more thing that you want to be thinking about with sparring, is the ki-hap. So ki-hap means yelling. It's every time we do a technique, we can add more power to it, we can use it to frighten our opponent. It also hardens our core, so if you get punched, it won't do as much damage. Hey! Ha! So you do ki-haps when you're sparring, especially on the last movement maybe, whatever you want to add more power to. So think about all those things. Those are some of the essentials of sparring. If you want, you can practice in a mirror. You have a mirror here. You can punch, practice. You can practice lacking your own techniques, whatever you want to do. So always work on sparring, even if there's no one around you to spar. Cheer up. Tune in.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.